Hi, people of God. If you can see me, God bless you. So let's talk about the root cause of a smear campaign spiritually, the psychology of the people who engage in a smear campaign, and how to survive a smear campaign. So let's start off with, what is a smear campaign? A smear campaign is character assassination, an attempt to control perception when control, whether the illusion of control or actual control over you, is lost. What's the root cause of a smear campaign spiritually? It's envy. See the story of Joseph. Joseph was smeared by his brothers out of jealousy. What about David and Saul? David was slandered by King Saul out of insecurity. Envy cannot tolerate what it cannot possess or control. Exposure. When someone feels attacked or exposed by your integrity, they often attack your credibility. See where the religious leaders smeared Jesus Christ and accused him of working with evil spirits or demonic powers. In Mark 3 verse 22, they said he used the devil's power to cast out devils. And Jesus Christ responded to them in verse 23. How can Satan cast out Satan? The truth will threaten fragile egos. What about Jezebel and Joseph? Joseph's integrity exposed her. She had to attack his credibility. So she used manipulation, character assassination, false accusation against him. The loss of narcissistic supply. When you withdraw access, that is, your attention, your time, your validation, your presence, unstable personalities, demonic personalities will see that as a loss of control. They would experience it as injury, narcissistic injury. And guess what follows? Retaliation. They'll go on a vicious smear campaign, a vicious manhunt aimed at your credibility, your essence. They will come at you with everything they have in their arsenal. It's spiritual warfare. Revelation 12:10 calls Satan the accuser of the brethren. A smear campaign mirrors the exact same spirit of accusation. So when accusation becomes organized, repetitive, relentless, it's no longer misunderstanding. It's warfare. The spirit of Jezebel, control, manipulation, smear campaigns. Jezebel used manipulation, false accusation, mass influence to silence the prophets. She didn't just attack Elijah, she weaponized systems, people, and public opinion. So the modern day version of this would be a coordinated character assassination, triangulations in family, spiritual abuse in churches, landlords and tenant situation, workplace, friend circle, being poisoned by the same narrative about you. You want to know the real root spiritually? You carry something. The image of God, integrity, a calling, spiritual sensitivity, prophetic perception, and that agitates darkness. Therefore, dark powers exploit other people's wounds, their sins, their fears, to form a weak, loose network of harassment. Their spiritual goal is to break your trust in God, to break your trust in yourself, to not just hurt you, to make you destroy your own self by either unaliving yourself or stepping out of your destiny. So what's the psychology of people who engage in smear campaigns? It's a fragile identity. So unprocessed trauma and envy is at work. So when a person builds their identity on dominance, control, admiration, or moral superiority, losing control over either a person, a narrative, even if it's an illusion of control, it threatens their internal stability. So they rewrite the story. So you become crazy, unstable, ungrateful, unfaithful. The villain. Rejection is powerful. So they assign to you what they cannot tolerate in themselves. Instead of healing, they attack the mirror. So social preemptive strike. So people who smell you first will do that because they want to beat you to it. So if they smear you first, if you ever speak, they've already poisoned the well. Groupthink and fear. So humans are terrified of being the next target. Some people don't even have the grit to be disliked. So bullying system thrives on that fear, the bystander fear, that if they defend you, they will become you. So that's how they spiritually engage with the wicked principalities and powers, entering into a silent agreement by participation. How do you survive a smear campaign? You reclaim your narrative with your soul and your spirit. So the enemy wants you to believe you are a targeted mistake that's not worth living. You must consciously counter that story with God. So you sit before God, name the problem, what happened, specific betrayal patterns, season. Don't sanitize it. Be raw with him, engage with him, and then ask him for clarity. What was this experience trying to tell me about you? What was this experience trying to tell me about me? And then renounce those messages out loud. For example, if it says this message taught me God left me, you reject it. If it says this message taught me I am cursed and unwanted, you reject that. And you say, I am chosen, I am loved by God, I am made in his image, and I am wanted. Don't be quick to defend yourself. Be patient. They will eventually expose themselves. I am particularly notorious for this strategy. It works like a charm. And it's deeply biblical too. Jesus modeled this behavior. Isaiah 53 verse 7 says, he was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. Before Pontius Pilate, Jesus often refused to defend himself. Why? Because truth does not panic. The truth is timeless. And the word of God further says, answer not a fool according to his folly. Sometimes offense fuels the fire, defending yourself and make you look reactive, and it can feed the narrative. Let your fruits speak for you. Galatians 5. If you're a kind person, you stay kind. Be patient. Have self-control. Consistency over time disproves any narrative they can come with. Document everything. If escalation occurs, whether in the workplace, whether legal, at least you'd have proof. You'd have evidence. And lastly, accept that some people will believe them. This may be hard for some people, but if you have grit to be disliked, it won't really touch you much. But the truth is, even Jesus had disciples who left. So your goal is not universal validation. It's righteousness and peace. Therefore, smear campaigns will happen when you detach, you grow, you stop tolerating dysfunction, you become less controllable, you become sovereign internally. Your growth exposes their immaturity, their stagnancy. So when you left, you broke the cycle, and the smear campaign was the last attempt at control.